What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber dot trying. You see the thumbnail. Politicians want answers, but not really. So yesterday there was a hearing with FBI Director Ray. Is it Ray? Anyway, about the Capitol riot. There were a few things going on here. One, you had people playing political games. Is it the left? We know that these were right-wing people, but do you look for any left-wing people? And the FBI director had to say, listen, we're not into party line crime. Like, oh, that's left-wing crime and this is right-wing crime. They're in the crime. The other thing, these politicians who've been around long enough to understand, you don't ask questions about an ongoing investigation. But it seems like either they're complete, utter idiots, or they're trying to help the people who the FBI is looking for. Because they want to know, like, how are you finding these people? What are you doing to look for these people? Where they at right now? It's an ongoing investigation. I can't say that. Well, we're sick of you not telling us what's going on. Oh, interesting. So do you want him to tell you exactly what's going on with the investigation? That way, are you using cell phone towers? As if he says, yes, I'm going to get on it right now to make sure you'll never be able to use cell phone towers because you're infringing on rights. Okay. Right. Is there a no-fly list? You mean to tell me you're a politician and you don't know how this works? You don't know how this works. So they have to tell them there is a no-fly list, but there is a list of people we just watching their travel. They haven't done anything to be on a, they're on our radar, but they haven't done anything extreme enough to be on a no-fly list yet. And then we get to one particular politician who actually, in some ways, made a great point. What he was saying was, do we have a profile for domestic terrorism? And the FBI director was basically saying, no, we don't. So he ran down like Proud Boys, Antifa. He's like, what is the KKK considered domestic terrorism? It's like, no, not really, because they don't have a working definition to define what a domestic terrorist is. Basically, because most domestic terrorists, the vast majority of them, pretty much are white, and that was the crux of this whole issue, is the fact that white people were having a hard time dealing with the fact that white people are America's greatest domestic threat. What about Antifa? Them people white too. So you're trying to say, Antifa is worse than the insurrectors. How we'll go with that. But he's like, well, that's not really the case, And then they were asking, well, are these white supremacist groups? And he's like, the majority of this stuff is white supremacist groups. So, they were trying to, their code for left wing was black. Left wing meant black, but it wound up being white people too. And they were having a hard time processing that, yeah, there's white people doing all this stuff. And they're sitting there old, and as if, and my issue was, the politicians want answers, but not really. These people were in their late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and they stuck on stupid, which lets me understand thoroughly why this country has been going in the direction it's been going in financially for years, because they're fucking idiots. Trying to be greedy for their own personal gain and constituents and screwing over the whole nation. And overly concerned about trying to put the blame on another group of people. But I'm not surprised because the people in their 70s and 80s, that's how they've lived probably their whole lives. Did the blacks, it's the Negroes, right? It's the Negroes, right? No, it's not. But no, it's gotta be. So, and then there was this winking and nod, ask for some more money, ask for some more funding. We're on the committee. We can give you a little bit of cash, buddy. And the problem with that is, it doesn't look like a cash problem. It looks like a, a purposeful oversight problem. White people might do something. They're white people. They're not going to do anything. Oh my God, white people did something. At the end of the day, America has a problem with viewing white people as criminals because white people are the majority population, and white people have done the whole pretty much basis for America is white criminality, and to look at white criminality as an issue, is staring in the mirror a little too hard, staring themselves in the mirror a little too hard, because the problem with, even if they were to make a domestic terrorist profile, if you look at it retroactively, you will see that white people have been domestic terrorists for hundreds of years. That's the problem. So I'm not expecting to see them make a domestic terrorist profile, because you can go from the Trail of Tears, from slavery to the Trail of Tears to the KKK to the teachers and the lynch mobs and this, that, and the third, and the businesses and Black Wall Street and all that other stuff. A lot of these politicians got put in office on the back of domestic terrorism. If they make a profile for it, that's how y'all came into money, by being a domestic terrorist. Like this, your family, it's gonna get real sticky, and this is not something that people want. So, do they want answers? Yeah, but not really. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.